cannot be disturbed.
Will you be tied up long?
Oh, I have no way of knowing that.
Well, then will you give him a message for me?
I'm not your secretary.
Well, Liz, I'm well aware of
I
that.
have my own work to take care of, if you don't mind.
You are Mac's secretary. Isn't it your job to take messages for him?
What is the message?
Will you please tell Mac that I won't be in my office today?
Is that your message?
Tell him that if he needs me, he can find me over at Willis's office.
You'll be working at Willis Frame's office today. I think I have that.
Okay, good. Willis has an awful lot of work for me to do, and I think
You want me to write that as part of your message?
No, that's not necessary. Just tell him where he can find me.
I'll do that.
Rachel?
Yes? Rachel, how are you?
Good morning, Liz.
It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you. Is Mac in?
Oh, just a minute. I'll buzz.
Excuse me, Brian. Sure. Yes, Liz. Tell her I'll be with her in just a little. Thank you, Liz. Rachel's here to see me.
You want to cut this meeting short?
Would you mind?
Oh, not at all. I think we've covered about everything anyway.
Thank you, Brian, for being so understanding.
Did you expect Rachel?
No, I didn't.
You seem a little perplexed.
Perplexed is very mild for the way I'm feeling these days.
Oh, what's going on?
I just don't understand what's happening in my life.
Well, let's talk about it. It might help.
It's very nice of you to offer. But I wouldn't dream of burdening you with my problems now.
I'm your friend as well as your lawyer, man.
I know that. But you also have problems enough without my adding to them.
You mean the situation with Iris?
Yeah?
I must say it's nothing like what you and Rachel are going through.
Must cause you a lot of pain just the same.
Yes. But things still aren't resolved between you and Rachel.
And they are between you and Iris?
As far as I'm concerned, they are.
Something happened?
Iris and I seem to have reached the end of the road.
Brian, you'll forgive me for saying this, but haven't you felt that way before?
No. A reconciliation is out of the question now. I had the unpleasant experience of hearing Iris rake Elena over the coals myself.
She did it in your presence?
Oh, not exactly. See, I went by Elena's for something the other day, and Iris was on the patio with her. She didn't know that I was inside.
And you overheard?
Every seething word.
What did Iris say to Elena?
That she was old enough to be Dennis's mother, for one thing.
How distasteful. I don't know what gets into Iris.
Well, that was the last straw for me.
So you're that angry?
Were you to blame me?
No. But I was just thinking how much I had hoped that you'd get back together with Iris. You've been so good for her, Brian.
Not anymore, Mac.
She said things to me that make it obvious how much she still cares for you.
Then why has she become interested in someone else?
I didn't know she had. Do you know who it is?
Kirk Laverty.
Oh. How'd you find out?
Oh, Iris made sure that I'd find out.
Well, she's just trying to make you jealous.
Well, if that's the case, it's not working.
You sure about that?
Mac, it's quite obvious that our parting of the ways is mutually desired.
Even though you both still care about each other?
Well, I could say the same thing about you and Rachel.
Well, you just said that our situation is very different.
Because I think there's still a chance for you. Well, you agree with me, don't you?
I don't know. I've never been so confused about my life.
You're not sure about your feelings?
When I'm with Rachel, I feel exactly the same as I always did.
Well, have you told her that?
No.
Well, tell her. Don't you think it's the same for her?
I have an inkling it might be.
Then what's the problem?
You really have to ask?
Janice?
I've become very deeply involved with her now. Hello, Rachel.
Hello, Mac. Thank you for seeing me on the spur of the moment.
Oh, that's never a problem with you.
I hope, I didn't make you cut your meeting short.
No, no. Brian and I had covered about everything we had to discuss. Please sit down.
Thank you.
Can I have Liz bring you something?
Oh, no, she already asked me.
She did?
Yes, it's quite a novelty having her be so friendly to me.
Oh, well, is she getting you something?
No, I told her I didn't want anything.
I was very pleased when she told me that you were here.
Well, I do like to make these arrangements for you to see Amanda in person, you know, rather than on the phone.
Yeah, of course. Why are you so nervous when you're with me?
Oh, it's not you.
Seemed to be me the other night.
Well, I've just been very tired and on edge ever since before I went to New York.
Have you seen a doctor?
Oh, there's no reason to see a doctor. He'd just tell me to get some rest.
Well, I hope you're doing that.
Yes, I'll try.
I know what a terrible strain you were under while I had Amanda.
Well, let's not talk about that, all
I
right?
wish there was some way I could make that up to you.
Yes, but you see, you made me understand how unreasonable I was being to keep Amanda from you.
I didn't do it to punish you, you know.
Yeah, I understand.
Do you think we can ever put all that behind us?
Mac, I told you that I would try very hard to forget all of that when you brought Amanda back.
Yes, I know that's what you said, but your actions since then tell me otherwise.
Look, I apologize for getting so upset with you the other night.
And I apologize for Janice coming to the house.
But you said you didn't have anything to do with that.
No, Janice thought I wouldn't mind being picked up, that's all.
You and she discussed it?
Well, did you think we wouldn't?
Do you discuss me often with her?
Please, Rachel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I seem to be apologizing a lot lately.
Yes, we both do. I just wish there was some way we could erase all these past months. Start all over again.
Do you?
Guess it's not very practical, is it?
No, it isn't.
Well, then, let's deal with the here and now. Can I see Amanda at the house again?
You really want to see her back at the house?
Oh, yes, I do. And I'd like you to be present, if you want to be, that is. What do you think? Oh, would you excuse me? Sure. Yes, Liz. Oh, yes, I've been expecting that call. Please put him on. Hi, Scott. What's happened? Oh, no. That's not so good, is it? Well, do we have any legal recourse? Oh? Right. Yes, I'll be able to see you in a little. Thank you, Scott. Now then, where were we?
You had just asked me if you could see Amanda back at the house.
Yeah. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's fine with me.
Good.
It just seems odd to me.
Why?
Well, you've always made such a point about seeing Amanda at the hotel suite.
Well, it was wrong of me to make an issue out of that.
What changed your mind?
You think changing your mind is a woman's prerogative?
Well, no, I guess it makes more sense to see her back at the house.
Can I drop by tonight?
What time?
Say around 6?
Fine.
I gotta rush now. Scott needs to see me about some copyright infringement. Well, Will I see you when I come to the house?
Oh, I don't know what I'll be doing.
You really confused me, you know.
What's happening to me?
I didn't know you were in Mac's office.
Hello, Iris.
How are you?
Fine.
I'm trying to track down Mac. Oh, do you think he might be in Janice's new office?
Oh,
I'm sure that's where he is. I'll just go and have a look. It's nice seeing you again, Rachel.
What was that all about?
What? That? What was what all about?
Well, Iris just said something about Janice's new office.
Oh, that what? It's nothing.
What do you mean it's nothing?
Well, the office is hardly furnished at all. It's just a temporary office, you know.
What's it for, Liz?
Janice is doing some work for Mac.
You mean she's an employee here?
Oh, no, heavens, no. I don't think so.
Well, you mean she still works at Frame Enterprises?
Oh, yes, she'll be working for Frame Enterprise as soon as the magazine is launched.
The magazine?
Well, it's this women's magazine that Mac is very anxious to put out.
Oh, well, I hadn't heard about that.
Well, it's in the planning stages, and of course, Pat is in charge of it, not Janice.
Well, Janice would have no reason to be in charge of it, would she?
No, heavens, no, of course. Except, it was her idea.
You mean Janice dreamed up an idea for a magazine?
Yes, isn't it outrageous? I mean, she doesn't even know about publishing, and now she has an office in the complex and a title.
A title?
Well, yes, consultant or something, and I hate to think how much money Mac must be paying her.
Right, Liz.
Give you a drink if you like.
Oh, no. It's much too early in the day for me.
Oh, Vivian, this is Mr. Stone.
How do you do?
Hello, Vivian.
Mr. Stone is an old friend of mine who used to practice law in Bay City, and he's now Kirk Laverty's assistant.
Oh, any friend of Mr. Laverty's is a friend of ours. Isn't that right, Mrs. Bancroft?
Well, thank you.
Welcome.
How would you like to get us some refreshments?
What kind of refreshments? Martinis?
No, I don't think Mr. Stone would like a martini. Would you like some coffee or tea?
Coffee would be fine, thank you.
And a cup of tea for me, Vivian, please. That's my maid, Vivian.
Aha.
Yes, well,
Oh, stairs.
watch them.
So, you are Mrs. Bancroft now?
Yes, but I'm not sure for how much longer.
Oh,
Oh, well, we needn't go into all that.
all right.
And what about you, Jeff? Are you married now?
No.
Well, that's nice to hear. There's always a scarcity of eligible bachelors in Bay City.
Have you lived at the Bayview long?
No, not very long.
Well, you have a very nice place. Kirk's is nice, too.
Yes, it is. Is he back in town?
He's due in this afternoon.
In his private jet, I imagine.
Well, that's the only way he travels.
Oh, what a life he leads. He's in and out so much I can't keep track of him.
Well, do you like to keep tabs on Kirk?
I was just thinking how fortuitous it was running into you. You must be the one person who knows where Kirk is at all times. We'll have to see much more of each other now.
Janice,
Mac,
did I startle you?
well, I'm a little surprised to see you here. Did Liz give you my message?
That's how I knew where to find you.
Oh, well, great. I told Pat that I'd meet with her again tomorrow.
Listen, it's all right. We agreed that you divide your time between Frame Enterprises and the complex when you came to take the job with us.
I know, I just didn't want you to think that I'd lost interest in the magazine.
No, I didn't think that for a moment.
I've been at this all morning.
What is it you're doing?
Oh, going through the files, winnowing out all of Roy's stuff.
Have you had any lunch?
No, Angie and Willis went out and they're going to bring me back a health food sandwich. It's amazing the amount of stuff that people don't need and they just keep around.
decided to take all Roy's stuff out and put it in a box and send it to him.
You think you could tear yourself away from the files for a few minutes?
I think I could take a break.
Someplace we can sit and talk?
Sure you don't want to join me here on the floor?
I'd like to join you anywhere. I really missed you these past 2 nights.
I've missed you, too.
Well, then our staying apart really doesn't make much sense, does it?
I think it does.
You really think some purpose is being served by our not being together?
Mac, I think it's important for you to have a little breathing room right now.
Breathing room? All I do there is miss you.
Well, you have to understand, Mac, that this is a very crucial point in your relationship with Rachel.
What about my relationship with you? That's the only ongoing thing I have in my life right now.
I don't mind waiting for you.
That's crazy.
What is?
Well, you're trying to make it easy for me to go back to Rachel. Is that what you really want?
Of course it isn't.
Were you hurt because I stayed at the house with Amanda for such a long time?
Mac, that's not the reason that I moved out of the hotel.
But you were hurt, right?
I simply realized that you're going to be seeing Rachel a lot more when you visit Amanda.
Well, why should that change things between us?
Mac, you're bound to be confused.
Aren't you being just a little too unselfish, Janice?
Seems like you've accused me of that before.
No, it's not an accusation.
Mac, I don't want to lose you, but I don't want to stand in your way either.
You think by being with me, you'd be standing in my way?
I want you to be sure about your own mind. What good would it be if I have you if you want to be with somebody else?
I understand that. All right. I give up. You win.
It's not easy for me either, Mac.
I know it's not. I'm going over to the house again today to see Amanda.
Well, this time you won't be interrupted.
I'm sorry about what happened, dear.
No, why? I'm the one that shouldn't have come over to pick you up.
Listen, I didn't mind you coming by there.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. The important thing is that you're going to see Amanda. Will you give her a kiss for me?
Sure I will. You are going to keep working on the magazine, though, huh?
Sure, as long as you need me.
Okay. Well, I guess I'll let you get back to work.
Mac, if you need me, you know where to find me.
There was no reason to mention it to you.
Well, didn't you know that he used to practice law in Bay City?
Yes, I suppose I did know that.
Well, then you should have known that we were acquainted.
Am I to assume that you know everybody that's ever passed through Bay City?
I know all the right people, and that certainly includes Jeff. Sit down.
Thank
But, you know, I didn't mean to give him the impression that you had to drop by the minute you arrived at the hotel.
Sorry I'm here.
No, of course not. What did Jeff say to you, anyway?
Just that he ran into you outside my suite and he visited for a few minutes.
And that's all it took to give you the idea of dropping by?
I couldn't think of a better way of celebrating my return.
Well, I'm flattered. Shall we have one of Vivian's martinis?
I thought you'd never ask.
Vivian! Wow, that was fast. How did you come in?
Hello, Mr. Laverty.
Hello, Vivian. How are you?
Well, I'm just fine, thanks. It's just nice to have you back.
Thank you.
If you think you could make martinis for Mr. Laverty and me?
It would be my pleasure, ma'am.
Well, tell me, what have you been up to?
I really don't think that would have much interest for you, Iris.
Well, why do you say that? You've been traveling around the country, haven't you?
It'd bore you to death.
No, come on, tell me. Where have you been?
Let me see. I spent a day and a half in Akron, visiting a rubber factory that Laverty Brothers owns.
Rubber factory?
Mm-hmm.
Go on.
And then I went to Alabama.
Was anything there?
Yes, a fiber mill. Oh, but the really interesting part is the sewage treatment plant in Great Neck. One of my manufacturing subsidiaries supplies the machinery for it.
I think you only tell me about the glamorous side of your work.
I warned you, didn't I?
Yes.
And I always pictured you in the most exotic settings.
Well, I'm sorry to disillusion you.
Fortunately, you do get to New York.
Yes, now that's one part of the world that holds some interest for you.
Don't you agree that it's an exciting city?
Yes, I do.
Have you spent much time there lately?
Oh, I'm constantly in and out of New York.
Oh, you're very lucky.
Well, not really, because when I'm there, I'm usually so busy I never have a chance to take advantage of all the things that New York has to offer.
I wonder what Rachel did while she was there. Do you think she had a good time?
Yes, I suppose so.
Don't you know?
No, not really.
Well, didn't you arrange the apartment she stayed in?
How did you know that?
Kirk, I thought you had a better memory.
Oh, did I mention that to you?
Don't you remember our evening at Tallboys? You had a phone brought to the table, and one of the calls was from Rachel in New York.
Yes, I do remember the evening very well. And you had a headache and had to leave before dinner.
Willis and Gwen joined you.
Is that the reason you left so abruptly?
No, I really did have a headache.
I'm sorry. We should plan another evening to make up for that.
You haven't answered my question.
What was that?
I asked about Rachel. Did everything work out all right with the apartment?
Oh, everything worked out fine as far as I know.
Is that all you have to say?
Iris, I got the apartment for Rachel as a favor, and that's all there was to it.
Then you didn't see much of her when she was in New York?
Nope.
Well, maybe you will now that you're back in Bay City.
I doubt it.
Why do you say that?
Well, Rachel's very tied up with her baby and her sculpting and running that great big house. I don't expect to see much of her.
I see.
Does that put your mind at ease?
Should it?
Well, neither one of you have gone to any lengths to hide the fact that you don't care much for one another.
Rachel said things against me.
Iris, I'd really rather not get into that.
Oh, it's true. We're not on the best of terms. But, Kirk, I didn't mean to suggest that you can't be friends with both of us.
I know, and I appreciate that. As a matter of fact, I'd really much rather be friends with you.
Vivian, are you coming down with Lockjaw?
No, Mrs. Bancroft. I am coming down with the martinis.
Good.
Will you be requiring anything more?
Well, I don't think so. It's kind of you to ask. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Vivian takes a very active interest in your life, doesn't she?
Much too active interest, but she means well. Oh, Kirk, I've been thinking that I would like to give a small dinner party in your honor. Would that please you?
Oh, of course, Iris, but I really...
Well, I would like to give it while you're here at this time, so perhaps we could decide on a time right now.
But, Iris, you've already entertained me a number of times.
I enjoy entertaining.
I know, but I think it's my turn to reciprocate. Would you have dinner with me in my suite tomorrow night?
I'd love to.
Dennis?
Oh, hi, Jamie. How you doing?
Okay.
Listen, I was just about ready to close the gallery. Why don't you hang around a couple minutes?
Is Elena around?
No. As a matter of fact, she hasn't been around too much today. Did you want to talk to her about something?
Oh, I just wanted to make sure she was out.
Well, I don't understand.
Well, I have something to say to you, and I'd rather she didn't hear it.
Well, is something wrong, Jamie?
Suppose you tell me. I had lunch with Cecile today.
Yeah, I know that the two of you had been going out, you know, and
Well, lunch was her idea today.
You mean she called you and asked you out to lunch?
Yeah, first thing this morning.
Oh.
Well, you know, naturally I was very pleased. I thought she wanted to spend more time with me.
Well, yeah, I assume that's what it means if she called you,
No,
right?
no. She set it up because she wanted to talk to me about you.
About me?
Yeah, are you surprised?
Well, yes, I am.
You didn't know she was going to talk to me.
No. What did she have to say about me?
Well, it was about both of you, actually. She said that you're getting serious about each other.
I see.
She wanted to let me down easy, so she thought I should know exactly where things stand.
Look, Jamie, I had no idea she was going to talk to you about that.
Is that all you have to say?
The thing is, you don't know the whole story.
I sure don't. Last I heard, you and Elena were madly in love. Now, would you mind telling me what's going on?
I'll try to.
What are you playing the field now? Is that your game?
Come on, Jamie, just calm down and give me a chance to explain the situation.
I think Cecile's the one who deserves an explanation. You know, I was about to tell Cecile about you and Elena myself.
Hey, now, hold on
Luckily
a second.
for you, we were interrupted. Now, would you mind telling me what's going on so we can get on with this?
You act as if I'm leading Cecile on.
Well, what else would you call it?
Look, I've been in a bind ever since Cecile arrived in this
what
situation.
kind of bind?
Nobody told Cecile about my relationship with Elena.
Well, why not?
Look, I can't go into that right now. The point is... How do I talk to you? The point is, she assumed that I was interested in her.
Well, don't you think it's time you corrected that assumption?
I'm not sure I want that correct.
Oh, I see. So now you'd rather have both Cecile and Elena at the same time.
Oh, come on, Jamie. You know me better than that.
Well, I thought I did. You know, I'm beginning to wonder.
Yeah, well, this situation isn't that easy for me right now. It's very complicated.
Yes, I'm sure it is. Now, what about Elena?
What about Elena? She knows that something's going on. She sensed that.
Well, have you talked to her about it?
You mean about my feelings towards Cecile?
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
No, I haven't.
Well, why not?
Because I don't understand my feelings myself right now.
I see. So you don't have any feelings for Elena at all, is that it?
How can you even say that?
I'm very disappointed in you, Dennis.
What, do you think I'm behaving badly? Is that...
Oh, I think you're playing real cute with two people you say you care about.
Hey, now, hold on, Jamie. Hold on just a second.